Hello, loyal News AFers. We're live. What's happening? Happy Tuesday.
Very happy Tuesday, I think.
Yeah.
Medium happy Tuesday. Let me see what the weather is today.
Yes. Is that a factor of
always a factor?
Scorching.
I mean, today we're gonna get up to 114.
But it's a dry heat.
It's a dry heat, so we'll probably be wearing jackets.
Yeah, you'll be cold.
So, yeah. So, anyways, that's not happy news for me, but it is what it is. I chose to live here, and I will deal with the repercussions of that choice, knowing that in February there's only one place in the country to be, and that's Arizona.
Yeah. Okay. You gotta put in the time in the summer to enjoy.
Yep. You've always got February.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
We've always got February. Okay. Exactly.
All right. Let me turn the podcast on and let's get into all this stuff. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. What's going on? I'm Rob Cesternino, back again to talk with you about the week's most interesting news stories for the week of July 25th, 2023, here on News AF. Hold on, let's try that. Here, let me do it again. Okay. All right. This is the real one.
The real one.
Yes. Okay. People are saying in the chat it's not July. Wait, hold on. Is it July
25th?
No, it's the 25th. Did I say 26th?
I think you said 25th.
I don't know.
Okay. All right. Let's try it again. All right. Take two. Hey, everybody, what's going on? I'm Rob Cesternino, back again to talk with you about the week's most interesting news stories for the week of July 25th, 2023, here on News AF.
If the story is buzzing like it's on crystal meth, it's about to be News AF. If the same old news makes you bored to death, it's time for some News AF. Actual, factual news.
Yeah, that's right. Last News AF of July 2023. It's been a scorcher. And so let's go to our man on the scene coming from the epicenter of the heat wave. Here he is, pickleball's top influencer. It's Tyson Apostol. Tyson, how are you?
Doing great. Yeah, it is the epicenter of the heat wave here. We deal with it. Sometimes it doesn't feel too bad. You're like, oh, this doesn't feel bad if you're like in the shade and it's like well ventilated and there's a breeze and all of that. You're like, I could deal with this. And sometimes it is insanely hot. But you know what? I made my bed, and Arizona is beautiful from, I would say, November, December, January, February, March, April. We get 6 really good months right there. And then even May is not too bad. And sometimes October is not too bad. So it could be 8, almost, it could be 8 months, but definitely you get 6 really good months in there. And
you just need a summer home.
We've been shopping.
Yeah.
We have been shopping, to be honest. Where do we go? New Mexico. Here's our options.
Okay.
There's a place like an hour and a half drive from here that is probably 15 to 20 degrees cooler. And it snows in the winter a little bit. Probably, Danny, about like a Provo, Utah climate.
Okay.
Hour and a half. And you can get like for the budget we want, you could probably get like a half-acre lot with little house on it, or go to New Mexico, high mountain New Mexico, and get, I don't know, 100 acres with a river running through it and a bigger house, or go to Utah because that's where my family is, and just build something on one of my parents' pieces of properties next to their house, like a little guest house on one of their things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
What are the options? How close? Yeah. How close? Because do I want to fly, or do I want to be able to drive?
You want to be able to drive.
And do I want to drive that quickly? Like an hour and a half to me, that seems like the most awesome. Like I could just like after this podcast be like, screw the heat. I'm heading up
to the summer home. Yeah.
But I don't know. Yeah. So that's all. That's we've been debating, and also it's like I've been playing the lotto like a lot.
Lotto.
Yeah. So,
hoping to get that sweet, sweet summer home money.
yeah, exactly. Private island money more. You'll know
Can't drive there.
No, you can't drive there, but that's okay because then I can probably charter a jet or a helicopter or both. Or
why not one to carry your luggage and one to carry you, or one to carry the kids, one to carry you and Rachel?
Yes, I love that.
Perfect.
Tyson, I saw an article today about how the in Arizona that doctors are having to treat patients who have fallen on the ground and then
From
burns.
Yes, yes,
nasty.
I have heard stories of bike riders falling on the asphalt and then having third-degree burns on their skin from laying on the asphalt too long.
Yeah.
So it is a thing for sure. But yeah, the worst we've ever had is the kids will like be running around in the backyard, which our backyard is fully shaded most of the day.
Nice.
But then they'll round to the corner of the house where it's not shaded and be like, my feet are burning. Like get back in the shaded part. It's like a lesson you got to teach them. Like could, if you challenged me, if you were like, Tyson, can you cross this desert filled with cactuses in 120 degrees with no shoes on? I know the way. You scamper from shadow to shadow. And that's
pretty sure that's a Vin Diesel movie. The sun is coming up and everything's catching fire and he's trying to find the shadow.
Riddick?
Yeah, it's
Riddick,
like a Riddick. Yeah, that's what Arizona sounds like.
Yeah, that is what Arizona is like. So there's that. And what else? Yeah, so you can do that. Or another barefoot trick is if you're on asphalt, get to the lines. The painted lines are much cooler than the asphalt.
Life hack.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
So there's a few.
Life hack.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So if you find yourself stuck barefoot on the asphalt in Arizona, get to the shade or
white lines.
Step in the shade or step on white lines. Yep. Yep. Okay. That's it.
Until you can get to a helicopter that can take you to your private island.
Correct. So yeah, exciting times.
All right. Well, back with us, a man who could fly that helicopter to the private island. Here is Danny Bryson. Danny, how are you?
On family vacation.
At the compound.
I'm at the compound. We're being re-educated after a year.
After a year away from the family. Listen.
Consolidate, re-educate, and then repopulate.
Danny.
Yeah.
You're famous for having a lot of siblings who listen to this show.
Yes.
Do they still listen?
Yeah.
And are they excited that you are recording on location in a room right next to where they are? Is that exciting for them?
No. My only hope is that someone doesn't burst in here. That's always my biggest fear. Like there's so many kids and the kids just are going everywhere and destroying everything. You can't stop it. It's a flow of chaos and it could work its way into any nook or cranny. So the big hope is that none of that carries over, but I am in a different location. I'm not on the main compound. So I do have a reprieve.
Wait,
chaos.
So you're not in the main where are you right now?
Just down the street. Remember, we've grown to such a large size that we can't even fit on the compound anymore.
So is it still owned by your father where you're staying, or are you renting?
This is a rental that we have that we rent to other people.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So,
and then your parents stay at the beach house?
Nope. They stay center of the compound.
They
do?
The beating
part of the
so who gets to stay at the beach house? Rob, they have a house that's like on the cliffs overlooking the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, could slide in at any minute.
Any minute.
The slightest vibration could just shatter that cliff. So you don't want to stay there.
So it's a little bit of musical chairs. You want
it really is. It really is.
Not when the music stops. Right. And if people missed the podcast last week, that they may not know what you're talking about, but Danny, you're with what, 55 family members currently?
I don't even bother to count, but it's up there. There are so many little kids. It blows my mind. Yesterday, I set up a giant floating obstacle course in this pond that's here. So like a multi-piece obstacle course. and just watch kids get hurt all day long. It's highly entertaining. It's like watching, we had our own Wipeout
Yeah.
right there in front of us. It was great.
My dad had us do one of those inflatable things for like one of the family get-togethers, but it was at his shop, so it was like on asphalt, and the kids were like climbing on the outside of it. Like it's all netted in, and if you're in, it's fine. But they were climbing on the outside. I literally caught a kid from falling like 8 feet off the top of it to asphalt. I ran and caught him. I saw it happening, and my dad instinct kicked in. Wasn't even my kid. Caught him. Not thankful at all.
Your hero.
They don't care.
Yeah.
They don't
Don't touch me.
Yeah, they don't know what repercussions would have happened had they face planted on the asphalt.
Kids don't know. They do the craziest things, and you're just like, how? How are we still alive as a species?
It's because they trust us as their parents
years to take care of everything.
Everything
at first.
Yeah, everything.
Wow.
Yeah, Rob.
Yeah.
You still riding that high that is the Barbie movie?
Oh, the Barbie movie. Well, I had such a busy weekend. I saw the Barbie movie on Thursday, and then I was at Fall Out Boy on Friday.
Oh yeah. How was the concert?
Fall Out Boy.
Yeah, it was pretty good, but I had a, almost similar moment where there was a couple next to us at Fall Out Boy, and this woman decided she wanted to be on her boyfriend's shoulders to get a better view of Fall Out Boy. And that ultimately, I don't think he fully accounted for, or they had been drinking also, exactly like the weight that he would be carrying. And she was on his shoulders, and then she went forward and tipped over, and luckily managed to catch herself in time to avoid a instant death, I would think.
For him or for her?
For her, yeah.
Your kids would have grown up real fast.
Yes. But then after that, then they reattempted. I'm like, what is wrong with you two?
Do you think he has permanent neck damage somewhere from having?
No, I did hear her saying to him, I really thank you for, I understand it was your leg day, and your legs are very sore.
No way, that's what she said.
Yeah, I heard her.
She's making excuses for him.
I think so. Yeah, they were cute, but yeah, it was a wild time. Yeah.
Did your boys love it?
They really did. They were very excited, especially my older son. He was very into it. It was definitely touch and go in the beginning, and I had definitely felt like, okay, this was a mistake.
Before the music?
Before the music. It was a lot of when is it going to start?
Yeah.
And then, but once it came on, they were really pretty mesmerized.
So you should have, man, now I'm regretting. I wanted to take my kids to First Aid Kit, band that we listen to a lot in the house here, and they were playing locally, but I didn't want to be in general admission.
Yeah.
So I kept trying to call the venue to get a private table set up, and just be like, I'll just pay whatever. Give me the private table up in the corner in the bleachers. I don't want to be down in fighting and blocking for my kids and stuff. So didn't happen. But now it sounds like your kids had such an awesome time. I wish I would have tried harder.
It was nice, and Nicole seemed to even be enjoying herself. Which
all four of you at the same time enjoying yourself. How often does that?
I just need everybody else to be enjoying themselves, and then that's like, yourself. Okay, look, well, it's
not about you.
It's not about me. So it was a nice time, and so it was a pretty good trip. Can't complain.
You've already bought tickets for Megadeth?
No, let's take it. I'm good for a concert for a while.
Tool.
Yes. All right. Well, let's talk about some things that are going on. And so we have been monitoring this situation very closely, but there is going to be a government hearing that's going to be going on. The Congress is going to be hearing from a whistleblower about that the government is hiding a lot of UFO stuff or unexplained anomalous phenomenon that is out there. And there's going to be a live streamed hearing coming up on Wednesday to get into this. It's called the Subcommittee Hearing on Unidentified Anomalous Phenomenon. That's going to be starting at 3 o'clock on Wednesday. That's going to be 10 a.m. Eastern.
Toot toot. Next stop, the truth.
Mm-hmm.
We don't care anymore.
We should
I care.
care.
We should
but
care.
we can't
and
care.
It's very, very exciting. And I would love to care about it. But all the teases with the aliens and all
It really is.
they're
It's such a
here
tease.
and the like, it's so anticlimactic every time. You're thinking like, okay, we're gonna get the thing. We're gonna get the thing that we need to prove to us once and for all. And then you have like some guy who's just like, there was a tic tac flying around. It's aliens. And then they show you the footage. You're like, is it for sure aliens though? And the footage is grainy and everybody's
The story has been the same for the last 50 years. The only thing that has changed has been the people who tell it. So now it's pilots, government officials, people in congressional hearings, but a lot of them are just repeating the same things that we've heard for so long that it doesn't tickle us the right way.
Well,
Like, we
Danny,
wanna see
okay,
something
so
awesome.
this time around, maybe it's a little bit different because that one of the people that's going to be speaking is David Charles Grush, and he says that the United States has intact and partially intact alien vehicles.
We've heard this. Other people have talked about material not from Earth that we have recovered from crash sites. Show me the material and show me what's so great about it. Your testimony, while interesting, doesn't do anything to like move me to the next level of belief.
Okay. Well, another person that's going to be testifying is Christopher Mellon with 2 L's. He's a former intelligence chief. That he says that we are in possession of technology that did not originate on this earth.
Again,
so
the people and their reputations, that's the thing that's changing.
Yeah.
Tyson wants to
Cool.
go up and put his hand on some material that changes shape or turns invisible, right? That's what I want.
I want to go in and they're like, here's the Tic Tac pod. And you go in and they're like, this is the handprint scanner to even get the thing going. And you look at the handprint scanner and it's just like 2 gigantic
fingers,
appendage finger things with like this super deep and like all warty and like all this, like
that sounds pretty cool,
gnarled up. And you're like, holy crap, it's real. And then you're like, can I touch it? And they're like, yeah, watch what happens when you touch it. And you put your hand towards it and it morphs from that alien hand into a human hand, all like metal, like mercury shifting, like the Terminator coming back together after being destroyed. And you're like, oh my gosh. And it shapes to the exact shape of your hand. And you put it in and it's just like, says something at you in like some crazy exactly. And you're like, is it starting? What did it say? Did it say it won't start because I don't have my alien
turns
driver's
on
license?
And it begins to hover and then it opens a door. I mean, the problem is we've heard this for so long and it just is losing all power.
Yeah.
We need to go to the next level of the
big
relationship.
one tomorrow.
Should we do
a special episode if they come out and like reveal the alien ship? Should we be like making plans to record tomorrow?
I would gladly do that. If they reveal an actual ship, here it is, the material, and this is what makes it so special. We're going to do a step-by-step reveal of all of this awesome stuff we have. Yes, I would be willing to break away from the clan and turn this computer back on.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think there'll be enough talking points for us to fill. Like what?
No, they have to reveal it.
Yeah, they have to reveal it. Like they're pulling a curtain and there's a hovering Tic Tac just hovering there.
Yeah.
And
you wouldn't do a live podcast to recap that, Tyson?
And they're like, we dragged this floating Tic Tac in with a leash because we don't know how to get inside it or what's in it. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Alien Watch 2023. News AF.
I mean, we were all over the raid Area 51 way back when, but it was that like 4 years ago, I think.
Yeah,
right?
I bet those guys are kicking themselves now that they know all this material is sitting in there, probably not guarded at all.
We got to get the band back together.
Everyone
in there. We were right there. We were so close the whole time.
So close. They were the closest anyone's gotten to revealing the real truth.
Yep. So, all right, we'll keep you posted. Be on the lookout Wednesday starting at 10 a.m. Eastern, and you can watch that live to find out what's going on with the latest UFO subcommittee hearing. This is a very interesting article that I had read about how an interesting phenomenon is happening in China, where there are parents who, it's a tough job market right now for young people. And so there are parents who are paying their full-grown children, specifically teenagers, young adults, and they are paying them a salary to be their full-time kids.
I love this. I think it's healthier than, what is it, the Munchausen one, where they purposely are making their kids sick to stay at home. This is healthier.
Yeah, this is definitely better.
Yeah, this is definitely better.
Apparently, on Chinese social media, the hashtags full-time daughter and full-time son have been trending, and people are, very excited about this.
I mean, Danny's been a full-time son since pretty much he was born.
Yeah,
even
really
still,
been
the bulk of his income comes from him having to be a son.
Yeah, I'm a fully employed son. But what are they requiring from their children? Like, what's the difference?
Okay, so if you were a full-time son, your job would be to spend time with your parents and take them to the grocery store. And, if the parents want to go out, you make arrangements and then you accompany them.
Don't let my parents see this article. They're getting ripped off.
Yeah, they totally
There's a lot
are.
I could be doing.
Yeah.
I thought that parents, this is what I always understood, as they get really old, they want nothing, they want less time around their kids.
No, as they get super old.
Yeah, because they want some time to themselves.
No.
I mean, they work so hard all those years to raise children and have a job.
Some couple, the kids are a buffer. If the kids aren't there, that the couple has to talk to each other.
How old are the kids?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
How old are the kids? Like teenagers?
In this article, they seem like they're like late teenagers, early 20s.
So maybe they've branched out enough that the parents are, because I think there's a moment
the
in
woman
time.
in this article is 24.
Okay, so there's a moment in time where the kid's gone away to school or is away from the house, and they realize that it's quiet and it's lonely a little bit, and they're like, I came back to, I lived with my grandma one summer, and she loved it. She absolutely loved it. And I wasn't there very often, but when I was, it was the greatest time for her. And then I lived with my parents right after I came back from Europe. So I lived with my parents for like a year when I was like 30. And they also, I was like 27, 28.
They loved it?
They loved it.
Maybe you're the exception, Tyson.
Yeah, they loved it. No, I think there's a moment where they just like want that little extra like noise in the house. There's somebody there. They're around. It's somebody extra to say good morning to.
They don't like it so much they're going to pay for it. That's the thing. How many parents are there out there willing to pay for that noise and conversation?
I mean, you've been paying for it with like 4 different people, Danny, full time since you and Liz have been married.
I don't know. You'll have to ask us if this podcast is still going years from now. You can ask me what I would pay for a full-time child. Also, I hear a lot of people your child disappears when they're teenagers.
Yeah.
They're like, their friends become everything.
Yeah. And you want them back.
Who cares about the parents? And they kind of want them back, but I don't know. I'm not there yet. I'm just entering. I have the oldest child here at 13. So I haven't quite entered that yet.
So both of the women that they spoke to in this article, both the full-time daughters that they spoke to, they both said that this is not their primary option. That they said that they have been very much affected by China's highly competitive society and the economy being sluggish. One of the women said, if my business had been very successful, I probably would not have become a full-time daughter.
If
it's an involuntary decision, but it is an option.
If it's so competitive, the parents should be out there trying to find better kids.
Oh,
yeah.
So upgrading their kids,
cheaper kids.
Do you have to hire your own kids, or can you get a different, better kid?
There might be other kids that are being like kidding for hire.
Adult children for hire.
The only thing is, I think that you're only going to have that comfort level around your real kids. and
Mhm.
there's an understanding. There's no, like, you don't have to create like the lines and the boundaries and stuff because they've existed for years. So I think, yeah, that's where it gets a little tricky. I mean, if you are so lonely that you're going to slowly poison your kid to illness to have them laying in bed so you can coddle them and take care of them, this is much healthier than that.
Yes. We frown upon that.
Yeah, we frown upon that, and this is definitely like it's mutually agreed upon, and this
Are there
is
contracts?
Mhm.
Like
I don't think there's a
ironclad
contract.
contracts.
yeah. Pete in the chat says at 13 you're done parenting until they need bail money.
Mhm.
I tried to pay my kid to do just chores. He doesn't really seem to care because he already got a sweet deal. I
Yeah.
can't imagine him thinking later in life that this would be a sweet deal either. To take me to the store, I can't even imagine my kid wanting to do that.
That's why you
Yeah.
pay them, dude.
I know. I'm trying to think what amount I would have to pay a child to have them think,
So-
okay, cool. Take
so
them
let's
dad out
say-
to dinner and help them buy groceries.
Let's say you're 65. So Danny,
Okay.
you're 65 years old. All your kids are out of the house. They remember all the adventures you went on and despise you for leaving them so many times. So they don't really want to talk to you that much.
Okay. All right. Oh, that's, yep. There. I can see where the
Liz.
money's coming in.
Liz, you and Liz have talked about everything you've ever wanted to talk about 20 years ago. So you basically exist in silence in your home. And you also are injured from falling off of a rock or something.
Oh
and
my
so
God.
you can't do your adventures. You're
Okay.
hobbling around.
All right.
And you call back and you're like, hey, buddy, you want to take your old man to the store? I'll even take you to lunch at Olive Garden, wherever you want to go. Probably Olive Garden because kids love that place.
They do.
And Beck is like, I actually am going to hang out with my friends, Dad. The play is to pay them. I'll pay you to spend all day with me, son. I will pay you. That's it. Danny, you're mute.
Danny's on mute.
He was probably to hide his
Yeah.
crying, his sobbing.
I've got a short in my wire, but yeah, I can see why some parents would pay with that, but I don't think you understand me quite, Tyson. I don't think I'll be paying. I'm just saying, check in 20 years, but
No, because that's what you want me to do. You're so lonely. You're
I
like,
want you to check in 20 years.
20
and
years
see-
from today, Tyson
Yeah.
said he'd check in, and this is all now you're holding on to. No,
Dude,
I will not check in
what
unless
day
you pay
is
me.
it?
Yeah.
Is it July 25th, 2043 yet?
Yeah, no. And obviously that's a hypothetical, but I think there are situations where like, yeah, that like makes sense. My dad still likes to go to work and is gone a lot of the day, and my mom would probably love to hang out with one of her kids.
Yeah, I think my kids will be like, I'll hang out with mom for free, but if dad's going to be there, he's got to pay.
Yeah. And they also negotiate their rate with mom also.
Yeah.
So mom determines what they have to pay to have dad there. Mom determines what she's paying to make sure that Danny also gets to be there.
Yeah, she's the good cop in this scenario. Yeah. So
That's
she's
how
not
I see it unfolding.
driving a hard bargain. Right.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
Well, start saving your money, Danny.
Yeah.
Oh, I already have a bank account entitled Child Time.
Full-time son, full-time daughter. Yeah.
Adult child time.
Yep.
Man, what a future.
Yeah. Okay. So let's talk about something else that young people are dealing with. So there is a name for people who are chronically late. They are people who are suffering from a condition called time blindness.
I was going to say selfishness, but go
No,
ahead.
no, time blindness is a thing. And so young people are trying to get their employers to recognize that time blindness is a thing.
This article had a great quote from someone who just chimed in on Reddit or Twitter, wherever this argument started. And he said, time blindness is great when it goes for you, but if it's the employer saying he has time blindness to pay you or any other service where you expect to be treated on time, it's not so great that time blindness exists.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's very one-sided. I want to be able to suffer from time blindness, but
Mhm.
heaven forbid anyone who's
I
providing
don't
me a
understand.
service.
I don't understand time blindness.
Yeah. Well, okay. So in the article, they're talking about something that often this can be associated with people who are dealing with ADHD, but it's not exclusive to ADHD.
Mhm.
And basically, it's the idea that you can get caught up in something and get in the zone, Tyson, and then you aren't able to like recognize the time.
Yeah, that happens to everyone. I have that
Mhm.
happen to me, but I break away. I mean, we all get into the flow, working on something or looking for something, but the person who's on time says, "No, I recognize what's happening and I need to
Mhm.
go right now."
Mhm.
Yeah, my wife's family suffers from this. Some of them, my mother-in-law specifically. Uh, there was a one time we hadn't seen Rachel's mom for a while, and I
Mhm.
had the kids at a park close to their house. And I messaged my mother-in-law. I was like, "Hey, I know you haven't seen the kids for a couple months. We're at the park, like pretty close to your house. If you want to come say hi." This is like October. And she's like, she messages back and said, "Oh, I would, but I'm decorating the Christmas tree right now." And I was like, "Oh no, yeah, no. Christmas tree's over family every single
Every
time,
time.
Mhm.
Yeah,
dude.
that's a
Every single
no-brainer.
time."
Yeah.
And she was immediately there because I guilted her into like seeing her grandkids in that moment when she wanted to decorate her tree in like October. But like that is very
How's that?
typical.
That's not time blindness.
Yes, it is too.
That's-
That's not time blindness. What is that?
I think that's just priorities.
Oh,
are
okay. That
screwed
is
up.
priorities. Okay. Time
But
blindness
time
would be like
blindness is
planning to be there and then not be there.
like the story in this article is she went to her employer or
Mhm.
hopefully her future employer and said, "Look, I'm going to be late because I suffer from time blindness. It's a condition where I get caught up in things and I can't be reliable."
Here's a
Right?
doctor's note.
Yeah, and this is what I was thinking when I read this.
Okay.
There is a certain percentage of the population that will always be late. And there's a condition, I don't know, but let's not give it a name because then other people will adopt it who don't have that condition
Mhm.
I
and
know
will
what
use it
the
as an
condition is
excuse.
called. The condition is called inconsiderateness.
I totally
Oh
agree.
boy.
I get and this is going to lead to many arguments because
Oh no.
whenever people are late or run things late, so also people who run meetings long,
Yeah.
I think these are the most selfish people because in their world, only their time matters.
Yes.
Right? Nobody
Exactly.
else in this arrangement here, none of their time matter. It's just
Exactly.
them.
Yes.
And
I
I
agree.
think they're the worst people.
Very selfish.
Uh-oh.
Selfishness
But
or inconsiderateness.
at the same time, I can recognize that there are people out there who just can't seem to get a grasp on what it takes to be on time or to end things on time.
I think
that.
if it's somebody who is every time late and they just plan to be late because they're the late person, then they're always 10, 15, 20 minutes late. That's very, very selfish.
So
If
selfish.
there's something where these people are just losing control of managing their time because their brain is wired differently, that's forgivable as
Mhm.
long as you're trying to manage it. And there's a difference. And it's like,
Well,
I
it
don't
goes
know.
back to Tyson's favorite thing. We need to keep societal shame in place to keep people from trying to be on time. Does that make sense?
Mhm.
So the
Mhm.
minute we give them a medical excuse, a lot of people will be, "Well, you can't criticize this because look, it's written in a medical journal somewhere." It's important that we maintain the shame. That's a great slogan.
Maintain the shame.
Maintain the shame because some things we can't enforce by law. We can only enforce by shame. And I feel like being on time is one of those things that we have to maintain.
Now, does
through
this
shame.
count for live podcasts?
To be late.
Like if we say like the podcast is gonna be on like at 9:15 and then it doesn't start till like 9:25.
Well, we're on at 9:15.
Yeah.
We're setting up, we're making sure we're going to create the best product we can for our listeners.
Mhm.
And so from here on moving forward, if we say 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock or whatever, give us 10 to 20 minutes of prep.
Give us some grace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
and that's why I said it's not. Look, people are going to be late. It just happens. But what I'm trying to tell people is that we need to maintain the shame, so that at least all of us are somewhat embarrassed when we are late, and we make an effort to be on time.
Yeah, you
That's
can't.
all I'm saying.
That's literally one of the only things that distinguishes us from the apes. Is that we have this
Punctuality.
punctuality. Like, and if we
Tell
don't have
time.
punctuality and we don't tell time, then we're no better than them.
Yeah, I went to
Yeah.
the zoo to show the monkeys a video, and they had promised to be there at 9. Dude, they weren't even there when the video started. They didn't show up till 9:30 to watch it.
Mm-hmm.
So
All right. So Danny, hashtag maintain the shame. Get it
Maintain
trending.
Shame. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Let's talk about we always like to stay on top of all of the different burger trends, and so this one is out of Thailand.
Yeah.
And it's called the Real Meat Burger.
Yeah, but what kind of meat? Cat meat?
yeah, what kind of meat was being used before?
Yeah.
By using the word real
Yeah.
meat.
It really throws you
Like-
off, right? You're
Mhm.
like, hold up, I had a burger here last week. What?
Yeah.
What was in that?
Okay, so they've got the real meat burger. So this is okay. I just want to make sure that I have this this straight. Okay.
Don't mess
Okay.
this up.
So they have a version of the real meat burger
Okay.
that is 100 patties.
Oh,
Wait, it's 100 patties stacked on top of each other?
Yes.
how
and-
can we eat that?
Are they
Yeah.
super thin?
No.
Like, is it enough that I could get
Yeah. Okay, so the real meat burger, it has nothing else. Okay, it's just a bun and patties.
Oh,
No pickles,
well,
no onions. It's a real meat
Danny's
burger.
on this keto thing, so this is perfect for
Oh,
him.
I just throw the bun away.
All meat all the time.
Yeah.
Yep. And then you can add extra patties to the real meat burger,
To the
I'm with
100
you.
patties?
up to 100 patties, I guess, which would then cost you $292.
Oh, I see. I see what's going on here.
Yeah, so you can have a real meat burger, which is probably 3 patties. It's 2 patties as the bun and 1 patty as the meat. Or you can go up to 100.
So I do think there is a bun, Tyson. So,
Oh,
but it's
this-
a bun with. So here, take a look. Here's an image of a man who is has a real meat burger of 100
Gross.
patties.
But why?
He's gonna eat it.
No, he's
Dude,
not.
to be able to grip that much meat and have it just there,
He's not eating that.
Look how
He's
happy
eating-
he is.
You can't eat that.
He's
I don't
eating
think
one
you
of
can.
Look
those.
how happy.
I
And if
can
it's-
eat 2.
What if you just ordered in, Danny, at the compound, 1 real meat burger?
Oh, we could eat these.
Yeah, split that around. Yeah, that's
Mhm.
fine.
That's
fine.
okay.
Yeah,
That's just gross.
yeah, and wasteful.
Yeah.
Yeah, unless
Yeah.
you went out and just started handing out patties to people, which I would never take a hot meat patty from a stranger. That's a rule I have. Just
Yeah.
never accept hot meat from a stranger. It's
Ever.
one of my rules ever.
Not even at the drive-through window.
That's a professional, a
Okay.
paid professional. So yes, you can accept hot meat from a
Mhm.
paid
So
professional.
this
but-
man that did this, he is a blogger.
of
this
course,
stunt.
there it is.
Mm.
He's a
There
food
it is.
blogger.
Okay, cancel this story. We don't need
Yeah.
to give this guy any more airtime. This is a joke.
Yes,
This
okay.
blogger is just trying for his 15 minutes, and we gave it to him. We are
Yeah.
the
He found,
suckers.
he found the loophole. He's like, they're like, we only do 2 patties, but what if I paid for 100? I could get you guys could be famous. You'll be on my blog.
Mhm.
Wait,
Uh,
did you say blogger?
He's a blogger.
Oh,
That's still
blogger. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
But he's in Thailand.
yeah.
But
What,
that
what does that
diminishes
mean?
his- yeah, what was that?
don't know.
Is it
Robert?
easier to be a blogger in Thailand?
I don't know,
What?
but you made it sound like a blogger is passe here in the United States, but maybe
It
it's
is.
still happening.
Okay,
in,
okay.
Thailand.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that it's possible. Blogging now, holy smokes, 2007. That's old school.
Yep. Also, Burger King had recently announced the real cheeseburger, which was just like a million slices of cheese.
They're so lazy over there creatively.
Yeah. 20
Like,
slices of American cheese on a hamburger bun for the real cheeseburger.
ever since they fired the king.
Mm-hmm.
I bet I know what the pickle burger is made of.
Yeah.
Just a stack of pickles.
Tyson, that could be your big thing. If you go
the
get
pickle burger.
the new Burger King all pickle burger. I mean,
just only pickles,
it's
no
the
meat.
face of pickleball.
Yeah, maybe I will order that at Subway one day. I'll have the turkey club. What do you want on it? No turkey, just pickles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Burger King also allegedly was coming out with a Barbie burger, but again, I don't know if you can get these in stores. This is in Burger King Brazil. They have a Barbie burger with a smoky pink sauce, which some people are comparing to Pepto-Bismol.
Like in flavor,
Not a
or
bad
in...
thing to yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it tastes. I don't think it tastes like Pepto-Bismol.
That would be great to build in those digestive relief things into your food.
Yeah, it's smoky. Yeah. So
Barbie burger.
Yeah, so this was in Brazil. They have the Burger King pink burger.
Why don't we have? I've asked this a million times.
And where is the Oppenburger?
Yeah, what would that be? The atomic burger?
Yeah.
It's like smoking.
Well done.
Well, yeah, burnt to a crisp. It's ash. It's just reduced to carbon.
Listen, it is insane the marketing that went into the Barbie movie.
Oh my gosh, it was everywhere.
Everywhere.
Crazy.
As far as I'm
Huge
concerned,
opening.
Yeah.
The only movie that existed this year.
Wait.
Yeah.
The Barbenheimer burger is a pink raw patty for the Barbie movie, and a well done patty
carbon ash
for the other on top of each other. Yeah, the Barbenheimer.
Wow.
Only at Burger King.
What country
Chile.
would serve it? Yeah, there you go. Burger King, South Korea, Japan.
Okay.
Yeah, Japan's usually a pretty early adopter on a lot of these things.
Yeah, Japan.
Yeah. Okay. Meanwhile, over in Argentina, they're not worried about any burger issues because they've got thousands of penis fish washing up on their beaches.
Delicious.
We have talked for some time about the penis fish, aka the Eurychus Unicus.
Yep. Yeah, that's the scientific name.
That was perfect.
Yeah, that was perfect.
Thank you. Nailed it.
You want to show us pictures again? Because it's been a while since our listeners got
I
to
don't
see
know
one of
if
these guys.
I'll try it. I just hope that we don't get our channel banned.
These were made for hot dog buns, so you just go down the beach, a couple hot dog buns.
Here we go. Here are these fish. Again, this is a Yahoo News article. Baffling scenes as thousands of penis fish wash up on the beach. Okay, this is what they look like.
They just look like worms.
Yeah. How did they get that name?
Someone
Pervs were like, hey.
Someone with a misshapen peen was like, that looks just like mine.
Can you imagine the first person, though, to stumble on a beach filled with those and be like, oh my God, what happened?
Some of these look more like a finger. Like that one right in the middle of the picture I'm looking at looks just more like a weird finger, alien finger. Kind of like Tyson's alien hand. 5 of these to open up the alien door.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. This, it would really be insane. Like, it's like seeing a solar eclipse for the very first time in history, like in the 1500s, and not knowing how or what happened. It would be like, okay, going to the beach, and you go and you're like, there has been a massacre. There's been a massacre here. This is insane. And you're just
discarding all these peens.
Immediately you just start sprinting, and you're just like, you don't know who or why
could be
or
trusted.
what, but so you just have to live in seclusion on the run the rest of your life so that you don't get penis fished.
Oh my God.
It's kind of like that story we read about in Siberia, the hands just washing up.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what's going through people's heads the first time this
I do have to say the picture of the shoreline is not as impressive as you would think. Like it just looks like
if you're going to send a picture of one of these, you got to do it close up. That's
exactly.
Rule
That's
number
what I'm
one,
saying.
to send a picture of the peen fish.
Does it show? Does it show any of these fish next to something we would like a hand or for
Like
size
like a
comparison?
Coke can.
Yeah, exactly. How big are they?
They're actually rather lengthy. That they
Okay,
are
they've
up
got
to about
length.
10 inches in length.
Whoa, those are monster, but little girth, not
Mhm.
much girth.
Hmm.
So maybe I think personally they look more worm-like.
More worm-like. Yeah. They are great bait for fishing for sea bass, allegedly.
Wow.
Yeah, sea
So
bass love.
yeah, the fishermen came running.
Fishermen were like, you know what? Sea bass actually love this shape. We know.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna take some of these home for sea bass. That's why I'm taking
Yeah.
them home.
We
Mhm.
know that sea
Mhm.
bass love the shape of these penis fish.
If
We
it really
know.
looked like a dong, it would be hard to run a hook through one of these as a male, like on a ship to fish for sea bass.
You
But
don't think you
it
can
would be-
disassociate?
Yeah.
I don't think so. It might be like that thing they do where they give you a fake arm and then
Yeah, and
behind
you
the
feel it.
curtain. Yeah,
You feel it
exactly.
when you're piercing the
Like ah, every
Mhm.
time.
Mhm.
I honestly think these look more like worms.
Uh-huh.
Or like a man who maybe suffered from an industrial accident.
Mhm.
In
Yeah,
his
that's what's
groinal
going on
region.
when you
Yeah.
are walking the beach. You're like, oh my gosh, all the accidents.
Yeah. So the other name that for these are called the fat innkeeper worm.
I like that name. Fat
Mhm.
innkeeper.
Fat innkeeper worm.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes more sense. It looks like a fat innkeeper more than it looks like a peen.
Mhm. All right. So yeah, it's also considered a delicacy in many countries. Also.
Oh, yeah. I
Mhm.
put that on a burger, Thailand.
Yep. And they also can live for up to 25 years.
Oh, you could use a pet as a pet. Could you have like a whole aquarium filled with penis fish?
Sure.
Okay.
They also exude a mucus net that they use to capture
Oh.
plankton, bacteria, and detritus.
Learning so much about a sea creature I didn't care about 5 minutes
Mhm.
ago.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to one more story before we go to Danny's bolt hole. This is the story of now, Danny. I know that losing your phone on one of your many adventures that would be like a major deal, right?
Yeah.
So that's exactly what happened to somebody who was skiing at the snowy mountains. Okay, and this is he lost his phone and it was recovered, and on this phone was a list of this person's goals for the upcoming couple of months.
Good to have goals,
Mhm.
Good.
by the
Okay.
way. So
All
I
right.
appreciate that.
This person had 8 goals. Okay.
Okay.
Goal number 1, get jacked and be 87 kilograms.
No, good goal.
Let me see how heavy 87 kilograms
Yeah.
is.
What's the conversion on that?
I don't need to even do that
87.
conversion because get jacked says it all.
Mhm.
It's only 191.
Okay.
So maybe he's small.
We don't know how tall he is. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
And
He's
this phone was found in Australia, New South Wales.
they're usually pretty big guys over there in New Zealand. I was going to say
No,
Australia.
I thought it was Australia, Rob.
In Australia. Yeah, he said Australia, right?
Yeah.
In Australia, they're pretty big over there, so I'm guessing he's probably 6'8". So 190 pounds at 6'8" is still very wiry.
Okay.
Okay.
Number 2 goal, quit all nicotine.
Oh,
That's
a worthy
admirable.
goal. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Sure.
Good goal.
Okay.
Goal number 3, have $25,000 in bank account.
Probably not the best goal to just have that in a
Mhm.
savings, getting
Yeah.
eaten up by inflation, but okay, still.
All right,
Nice.
number 4, have motorbike.
Okay.
Dangerous. All those gains are going to be for naught if
Mm-hmm.
he crashes that motorbike.
But also the gains will help protect him in an incident.
All that meat,
Yeah.
a meat barrier between him and the hot pavement.
And just
Okay.
being in
Mhm.
shape too will also help
Yeah.
recovery there. But like with the 20, this is where it's like the 25K in savings can get you a motorbike. But then, so if it comes down to one or the other, which one are you prioritizing?
No, he wants it all, Tyson.
Wants it
Okay.
all. I don't know if these are in order of preference. Okay. Number 5 is get better at fighting. He probably gets his ass beat a lot. That's why he
don't-
needs to get jacked.
Yeah. I mean,
This tells us a lot about this individual. He is doing all of this out of spite for someone who has picked on
Beat him
him or
up.
bullied him or
Yeah.
beat him up. Maybe a brother, maybe someone at school is bugging him, but like all of this now is all making sense. He
I
wants
would
get
like to
jacked.
see
Yeah.
number 5B work on conflict resolution rather than get better at fighting. You know, try to go the opposite way. No one wants to fight, or no one should want to fight.
Yeah.
I would think.
And Docs in the chat says, is his account at 0 to build up to 25K, or is it at 2 million and he's trying to burn through 1.9?
Yeah.
Let's just assume that this is a guy starting at 0, because that makes the story more interesting.
Okay. Does it? Because I think it's way more interesting if his account's at like 100 million.
Yeah,
He's
that
trying
is-
to get
yeah.
down. But 25,000 is such an arbitrary number. I don't know.
Number 6 is get good marks at uni. Okay,
Yeah, I like
that's
that.
admirable. Number 7 though is
But to spite who? Who is he spiting and getting these good marks? I feel
His
like
dad, probably.
Okay.
He's not a full-time son anymore.
Okay.
Number 7 is have 3 girls on roster.
Oh, what roster? Like team roster?
No, I think we know the roster is dating roster, and that's a lot to manage.
You don't want that.
Well,
kid.
maybe he has 5 right now, Tyson.
Yeah, that's true. We keep assuming
and
he's
he
coming
wants
from
to-
0.
he wants to simplify. Yeah.
This last one's powerful.
Yeah. Number 8, don't get haircut for 3 months.
That takes a lot of restraint.
Yeah,
I've never gotten a haircut within 3 months
because
of the
you're
previous
not
haircut.
addicted to haircuts. This man suffers from nicotine and haircut addiction.
Okay.
He's trying.
He has haircut blindness. Okay. He doesn't know how long it's been since he got his last haircut.
Okay.
By the way, embarrassing list of goals is the title of this article. But in all honesty, it seems like the goals, those goals are pretty good for a college age individual, unless he's an older person who's returning to college, in which case it is slightly more embarrassing. Not bad goals.
Yeah. So, all right. So that's somewhere out there, somebody's goal list is floating around.
Yeah, goal number 9, find my old phone. Which, by the way, looking at this story in the picture, this could be a total lie of a story.
You think so? Who would make this up? It's not that interesting. Like,
well, that's the thing. It's a picture of a rather mundane looking list on a phone. You know, like that's the whole story. We don't. Is there any backstory on where he found it, how he got it unlocked? Who isn't locking their phone? Like goal number 0, keep my phone locked. I mean, how is this?
Maybe that was the lock screen.
Oh, okay. Now that makes it more embarrassing.
So if he's found unconscious somewhere, the first responders can pick up his phone and be like, "Oh, here's his 8 goals."
Yeah,
you never know who's going to read them and then help.
Yeah. The goal list was like I guess the screenshot of the list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know.
All right, Danny, do you know about the bolt hole?
I have heard it's one of my goals to
Yes.
perform perfectly in the bolt hole.
All right, well, let's go to Danny for the bolt hole.
Okay.
Welcome to my bolt hole. I think you're gonna like it. I think you're gonna feel you belong.
Yeah. Okay.
For my bolt hole, I have an update
Mm-hmm.
about the story we talked about last week.
Yes.
They think that woman lied about the meteorite hitting her.
Oh.
So I mean, what can I say? I passed on bad info.
She lied.
She lied.
She
to the
lied.
news.
What can I do to protect myself from people like her?
Even the credible news sources pick it up because she
I think it
lied.
was the BBC. Yeah, so she lied, or at least there's a feeling that she lied. I don't know why can't we get a scientist to just take that piece of rock, right? She took it to a construction worker, and then she claimed she took it to someone else after that. But why can't this be easily verified? Is space rock too difficult to verify? Does it look too much like normal Earth rock?
Well, you could even get a space rock and then claim that it hits you, Danny. Like there's
Oh,
so
yeah.
many
No,
lies that could happen. Like
where was
somebody
that
gave
insight
me
last week?
somebody
Tyson?
gave me a piece of meteorite, and I could easily just like smash a hole in my house and then be like, this thing hit me on the shoulder. And then all of a sudden it's making international news.
Well, you just ruined that potential story in the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. So I was a little disappointed. So many lies ruin a lot of good stories.
Yeah.
But
the best stories are the fake ones.
Yeah, maybe fiction.
Yeah, you think fiction is better than nonfiction?
Usually.
Yeah,
but
that's what makes a true story that's completely just out of this world so great, because they're rare.
Yeah.
As rare as being hit by a meteorite.
Well, that's why this testimony about the UFOs tomorrow is going to really turn some heads, because it's going to be true and it's going to be better than fiction.
And they need to bring in this woman and have her testify, in front of Congress, whether or not she was really hit by a space rock, just to get to the bottom of that while you're doing everything else.
Yeah.
So anyway, I just wanted to clarify. I don't have the best internet out here, so that's got to be my bolt hole.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Stay frosty when you're reading that news.
Well, that's
examine
the thing.
all the angles.
Is this damaging the alien story at all by her fabricating this story, or it has no bearing on it whatsoever?
In the world of alien stories, there's been so many that have been fabricated. I read one just 2 days ago about the guy who's had so many visitations, like hundreds, with these green orbs, that now he can summon them at will. And my thought was, really? Then do it and summon it in front of a team of, accredited researchers. It's like, I'm sick and tired of people talking about their experiences with aliens. I want to see hard proof. I want to see that probe entering your body.
Wow.
On like live stream, YouTube live. So I don't want to hear about it after the fact with a bunch of fuzzy pictures or video. We live in a world of 4K and good ISO. So let's get some good quality video and just get to the next level of UFO stuff.
And then it's going to come out, and then Danny's going to say deep fake, not real.
I know that's a problem, right? Is that AI, deep fake, CGI, it's eventually going to be able to produce any reality that I want to believe in.
Yeah. Okay.
That's so we got to get to it now, or else everything will be blamed
pretty soon
on AI and CGI, and there'll be no way of ever distinguishing the truth in anything whatsoever.
Yeah, exactly.
Ever again.
Especially when we're all plugged into Apple Glass or whatever it's going to be called, Apple goggles.
Yeah.
And we don't even know when we have them on or when they're off.
Oh my gosh.
God.
Yeah. So we're going to be running this podcast in like 3 weeks go by and be like, Danny must be time blind. And then I'm like, I'm going to go to his house, and I go to his house and he's just like sitting in a pile of his own excrement. Just like, and I peel the goggles back. I'm like, Danny. And you're like,
Apple Vision.
You're like, I was just talking to you, Tyson. I was like, were you? Because I haven't seen you in months.
My eyes are black to black.
Yeah. And you're like, just like a pile of like skin and bones. And I was like, what have you been eating? You're like, all my favorite foods.
I've been going to my favorite restaurants. My bank account never
all
seems
over
to
the
go
world.
Down.
All over the world. And I'm just like, dude, you got plugged.
I've been on so many adventures.
I've been on so many adventures. Like the only adventure it looks like you've been on is building a mountain of poop.
Feces. Tyson, you were there on so many of my adventures. I should have known something was wrong.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow.
So just be careful.
Be careful. All
Definitely.
Right.
Make sure that you always have a spotter before you go in.
A VR spotter.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Danny, anything exciting coming up this week?
No, just going to be out there making sure kids aren't getting too hurt.
Getting too
there's
hurt.
not a great hospital nearby, so you don't want your kid to get hurt here, because I'm guessing it's at least an hour drive.
Yeah. Okay. I just remembered I meant to watch Mount Kilimanjaro video, but now I have it queued up. I'm going to put it on my playlist.
Oh yeah. Watch that. I put that out. I was a little nervous to put it out because sometimes I have a real negative attitude. Only sometimes. Most of the time,
Oh.
I'm a glowing orb of optimism.
Yeah.
But I could tell in Kilimanjaro, I spent a lot of time like, man, this is just upset with the situation, not the mountain, just the situation. So I put in at the very end
Bloopers.
the tip. No, the
Oh.
tip ceremony, as much for you guys as for anything else. But the way I go about I just thought people are going to look at this and think this guy is such a jerk. But I was okay with that because I told you guys I'd put it in. And so I did it. I don't
Mhm.
have editing blindness. If I tell people it's going in, it's going in. So that part's in there at the very end for you two.
Oh,
Basically,
okay. Well,
just
then we
you
have to
two.
watch it. Okay. All right.
Yeah, just skip to the end.
Will do. Can't wait to see it. All right. Danny Bryson, everybody. Tyson, what's coming up for you?
I will be going to Utah this weekend to try and just escape the heat before my kids start school next week.
Yeah, it's gonna be
Nice.
100 degrees. It'll be nice.
No, I'm going to be up at the
Oh,
middle
yeah.
of Wolf Creek Ranch at
80
like
degrees.
9,000 feet.
Yeah.
So it'll feel great. Going to probably take my kids fishing. They keep talking about wanting to go fishing. They've never tried fishing, and I've never had any desire to try fishing with them. So might try and do that. And then my kids have all their back to school stuff next week, and they are in school next week.
Wow. Me too.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, my kids go back next week as well. So yeah, it'll be a real party over here.
Yeah.
Honestly, I
bet.
like it better when they go to camp because it's the day is longer and it starts later. But yeah, back to school next week.
What about you, Rob?
Just yeah, podcasting away, getting ready. Big Brother kicks off next week, so be on the lookout for all of that. And then also we've got Claim to Fame, Tough as Nails, everything going on over on robhasawebsite.com. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next week when it will be my anniversary.
Ooh.
Yeah. Be sure to join us then. Take care, everybody. Have a good one. Bye.